Hello and welcome to the Denver Homes Market Report. This is Ricky Schoonover, host of this podcast and your local realtor here in Denver at 8Z Real Estate. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Last month we had a great episode. I was able to feature 2015 Monaco Parkway. It's a beautiful home built in 1950. My clients had purchased it, remodeled it, brought it back to life, and we got it back on market. It's currently available at $900,000. So that was a great show. I hope you had a chance to check it out. I hope you went to the listing. If you go to my website, denverhomesmarket.com, go up to that upper left corner up there and it says featured homes. Hit that up there and you'll see that one there. It's a beautiful home. Check it out. If you have any questions about it, give me a call directly, 720-688-5110. But anyways, that was last month. Let's get into this month. So, we're past Cinco de Mayo. We got Mother's Day right around the corner. And of course, Denver gets snow this week. That's how it goes. Anyway, I was out with clients last week looking at properties, and they were in from out of state and taking a look at some homes for a house hunting trip. And we were talking about different demographics and where they sort of fell in the spectrum of buyers, because they'd sent me a list of homes, and before they got here, 4 of those homes had already went under contract. They're like, wow, the market's really moving here. And I said, yeah. Well, I said, well, you guys are in a special demographic because, first of all, the biggest demographic probably we have is first-time home buyers, where everyone's trying to look for something affordable. And then beyond that, you're selling that home, and then you got the move-up buyers, the ones that are looking in that maybe 700 to 900 range, exactly where these buyers were. And it was some stiff competition into that range. So it made me think today for my podcast. I was like, you know what? I want to talk about affordability. First of all, affordability is on everybody's mind, right? Everything we talk about right now is affordability. Gas is expensive. Heating bills are expensive. Groceries are expensive. Everything else. So, and housing. Housing is no different. So let's first talk about rentals, right? I have a property. My husband and I own a home that we have rented out, and we put it up on the rental market, and we had 30 to 40 people within like 2 or 3 days that reached out to us and said, hey, we want to look at your place. We want to rent your place. I end up having to do like an open house and say, okay, everybody, I can't be there like for everybody's appointment. So I'm going to tell you what, I've got so many of you coming. Here's where we're going to make it available. We're going to make it available on this particular Sunday from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Come on over, take a look at it. If it's something you're interested in, we'll talk about it. And we did that, and we ended up getting our renter. And that was at $2,600 a month. And this is a little 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, older home, no garage. There is some parking off street. There is the laundry inside, and it does have AC. So then I thought, you know what? What if we talk about affordability? What if we talk about a home that rents for somewhere between $2,600 and $2,800 within a couple of days? What would that look like for a purchase? Like, why would you rent if you could purchase a home? So I want to talk about that starter home. Something under $400,000, something that's not, it doesn't have anything, right? Let's talk about a home that is a starter home. It's under $400,000, but let's talk about, first of all, it's within 20 minutes of Denver. So 20 to 25 minute commute from Denver. We're talking it has laundry inside the unit. We're talking it has central AC. It has at least 2 bedrooms, in this case, let's talk about 2 baths. Mine only have 1. And it has a garage. Mine didn't have a garage. So when you look in the MLS for Denver and the current inventory and you put in those parameters, we're talking under $400,000 within 20-25 minutes of downtown Denver, has laundry in the home or in the unit. It has central AC. It's got at least 2 bedrooms. It's got at least 2 baths, and it has a garage. Would you believe within 20 to 25 minutes, there are 40 homes that meet that criteria? So within 20 to 25 minutes, there are 40 homes right now, just before I jumped on the podcast, I just checked it, homes that have laundry in the unit, central AC, at least 2 bedrooms, at least 2 baths, and a garage. So that's our starter home. And that brought me right into a home that I'm bringing up on the market. But before we get to that, let's talk about the numbers a little bit. I know we're in a podcast and numbers are sort of difficult, and you might be driving in your car listening to the podcast, but let's just talk about numbers real quick here. So let's talk about a home that's, let's talk 300. The one I'm getting ready to bring to market is $370,000. It's a townhouse. So let's talk about this at $370,000. Let's say you do an FHA loan. FHA loan is a Federal Housing Administration loan. And it's a loan that a lot of first-time home buyers use. It's the one I used when I bought my first home. So let's use that for an example. So we have a home that's on the market for $370,000. FHA allows you to pay as low as 3.5% down. So that's $12,950 for your down payment. That leaves you a loan amount of $357 and some change, just a little over $357,000. And then your closing costs I kind of estimated these high. I estimated them at 2%. It's probably not quite 2%, but somewhere close to that. So let's just use 2% for this analysis. So that's $7,000. So you've got your down payment around just under $13,000, and then you've got your closing costs that are just over $7,000. Brings you to right around $20,000. So if you have $20,000, if you have access to $20,000, you can even get a gift from a family member or a friend. If someone was able to gift you some of those funds, you can do gift funds as well. And they just got to write a letter that is a gift, and they can gift those to you. Plenty of parents and grandparents out there want to help someone that's looking for their first home and help them get started. So maybe they split that with you or give you a little portion of that $20,000. But if you can come up with somehow $20,000, that's basically all you need to move in. And then we can talk about numbers, right? So your principal and interest payment based on a 600 or 6.25 interest rate, which should be somewhere right in there right now. That gives you about $2,100, maybe a little over $2,100 for your principal and interest. And then the taxes on that are somewhere right around $283, let's just say $300 a month. And then your insurance, you only have to do a studs in or an HO6 policy if you're in a condo, because the condo or the association, they take care of the master policy, which is the one that takes care of the roof and the siding and the common areas. All you need to do is cover your unit, like inside your four walls and your washer dryer and your appliances and things like that, your personal effects. So those HO6 policies are only about $600 to $700 a month. I estimated on the higher end of that at $700 for the year. So I estimated on the higher end of that. So that's going to end up being about $58 a month. And then you have an HOA. Most condos or townhouses, you're going to have an HOA that's going to cover, outside maintenance of the property, going to maintain the access roads, the roof, the siding, and the master insurance policy, things like that. So that ends up being $325 in this case, $325 for the month. So all in, if you can come up with $20,000 for the down payment, then your monthly payment is $2,800, a little over that. So $2,800 a month. So here I am renting out a 2-bedroom, 1-bath little house with no AC. Oh, it does have AC now. No parking or no garage at least, and only 1 bathroom, not 2. And we rent that one out for $26,000. So for $2,800 a month, you can have 2 bedrooms, at least 2 baths, at least a 1-car garage, have laundry in the unit and central AC, and being within 25 minutes of downtown Denver for $2,800 a month. But that is about $20,000 to get into that. I just wanted to talk about that a little bit and talk about a little bit about affordability and just sort of explain that we do have 40 properties here within 25 minutes of downtown Denver, because my office is right here in Rhino. So if you're no downtown Denver, you know where I'm at. And I did a 25 minute commute on a typical morning at like 9 o'clock just to see how many properties would fit that sort of first time home buyer criteria. Now, these are not houses. If you type in house with the same criteria, you're only going to get 2 or 3 homes or 2 or 3 houses. But these are either condos or townhouses. They all have laundry in the unit. They all have a central AC. They have at least a 1-car garage, and they're under $400,000. And the numbers I worked out was for my listing, which is coming up soon. We're going to be coming soon on Thursday, so I can't show it to you yet. You can always give me a call and we can schedule a showing when it's available. But we do have it coming on the market here really soon. It's going to be coming soon on Thursday, so you'll be able to see it. If you go into Zillow or you talk to your realtor and they go into the MLS, they'll be able to pull it up for you. If you reach out to me directly, I'll be able to share it with you. And then it will also be on my website here shortly, which is denverhomesmarket.com. It'll be under the featured listings. You can find it there. But here, let's talk about this home. It is at 11045, so 11045 or 11045 Huron Street. It's in Northglenn, so it's about 25 minutes north of Denver. It's unit 605, and it's a beautiful place. Beautiful. You pull into this nice, it's Pinnacle Creek. Is that Pinnacle Crossing? We pull into the little development there. It's right there on the left-hand side, unit 605. Right behind it, like right beyond the townhouse, or it really feels like a townhouse. You're going to see when you see the pictures that it really lives like a townhouse. It is technically a condominium in the ownership, but the style of it, the architecture style of it's townhouse. So you're going to hear me interchange those two. And maybe that's something worth mentioning. If it's a true townhouse, you are more than likely responsible for the siding and the roof, and you just have a party wall agreement between the two townhouses. There's no HOA. And so when the roof starts leaking, you're the one responsible for fixing the roof. Or if a hailstorm comes and knocks out the windows or knocks out the siding, you're responsible to get those fixed. So with that, if it's a true townhouse and not a condominium and there's no HOA, then you're responsible for that. Your insurance would go up. So instead of being $700 a month for being a condo, for being a house would be somewhere around $2,000 or $2,400 a year for your insurance. So that's sort of the difference. Condominium is an ownership interest. It's not really an architectural style. Whereas when most people think of a townhouse, it has a certain look to it, right? So these are they're condos in the ownership, but they look like a townhouse. They live like a townhouse. Anyway, right behind it is the Highline Canal. So the Farmers Highline Canal goes right behind there. And then just a little bit further down the road, there's a beautiful park with some fishing, and they got some art installations and things like that. So right there off of just basically north of 104. So if you're going up I-25, you get up at 104, head over west just a few blocks, and then there you are in Huron. And here's where this house is at, 1105 Huron Street, Unit 605. It's going on the market really soon at $370,000. This home is a little over 1,500 square feet. I think it's 1,537. It's got 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. But in addition to the 2 beds and 2 baths, it also has a loft. And up on this loft, it's huge. Right now, my clients are using one part of it for a workout area. So they've got their gym set up there and their exercise bike set up there. And on the other side of it, it's an office, a home office. So you got 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, plus the loft. And then just a really nice setting. It's got a gas fireplace, a little balcony right off the living room there where you can sit out there and have coffee. 2 bedrooms on that floor and a bathroom, and then another bathroom as well upstairs. So on the same level, but 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, plus a loft area, which everyone's looking for these days, right? Everyone's looking for a home office. So if they do 2 bedrooms, they also need an office. They would have to use up one of the bedrooms for an office, or maybe use it for halfway for an office and halfway for a guest room. In this case, you get 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, plus the loft. So a little over 1,500 square feet. It has a newer AC system, so you got newer AC. It's got laundry in the unit. It's got the garage. It's a 1-car garage, but it's a little deeper, so you can put your car in there, plus still have some room for your bicycles and things like that. And that's coming on the market really soon for $370,000. So that fits really well into this affordability piece that I was talking about earlier. If you could put 3.5% down, which is about $12,000, just under $13,000, you pay your closing costs, which is right around $7,000. So you're right in there at about $20,000 to get moved in. That's not all that much. I know $20,000 is a lot of money, but when I had my renters recently move in, they had to pay the rent, which was $2,600, plus they had to pay the deposit, which is another $2,600. So they were into it for over $5,000, almost $6,000 anyways. So if you could buy a place for $20,000, maybe you have a family member, maybe it's a parent, maybe it's a grandparent, someone that could gift funds to you. Maybe you can get somewhere in there. And then I also want to bring up, AZ does something really special here. It's called Keys for Life. And it's really simple to get into it. All you got to do is call me, 720-688-5110. Just give me a call and say, hey, Ricky, I saw your podcast. You mentioned Keys for Life. I know it's coming up, and I want to be in on it. And so you reach out to me, and we get you going on a pre-approval and get you in with collective mortgage, and we have you come to my class. And I actually do part of the class. I don't teach the whole class, but I do part of the class, and then our mortgage partner also does part of the class. But you come there, it's about 2 hours. You come in there and talk to us, and we talk to you about homeownership and some of the advantages of it and some of the pitfalls to look out for. And we have our mortgage partner from Collective Mortgage come in and talk a little bit about the loan parameters. Just doing that class for it's less than 2 hours, you get anywhere from about $2,000 to $5,000. You never have to pay it back. It's a grant. We grant that money for you. It's not from the government. It's not from the city. That comes directly from 8Z Real Estate. So 8Z Real Estate, they pool money together from all the transactions that we do throughout the year. We pool money together. We put a bit of money together. And then when you reach out to me and you say, hey, Ricky, I want to be part of the Keys for Life, you come to my class, we do the class, and then we give you a certificate. And then you have up to a year to go out and buy a home. And we're going to grant you. It depends on your need and how it plays out, but somewhere up to $5,000. So now you got up to $5,000. Let's just say it's somewhere between $2,000 and $5,000. So we already talked about move-in costs to move into my little house was about $5,000-6,000, right? So now you've got another, say, $2,500 to $5,000 you get from 8Z just as a grant. So that money's free money. You never have to pay it back. and then you talk to grandma or you talk to your parents and maybe get a little more money, a little more help, and pretty soon this house is pretty darn attainable at $370,000, and your monthly payment with the HOA and with the insurance and with the taxes, everything ends up being about $2,800 a month. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up today's show. Just want to talk a little bit about affordability here in the Denver area. Within 20 minutes, 25 minutes, there's 40 homes. They all have central AC. They all have at least 2 bedrooms. They all have at least 2 bathrooms. They all have a garage. And they are available right now in Denver for under $400,000. So if you're kind of thinking about affordability, you're tired of paying that rent. If you're paying anything over $2,500 a month, you should be owning a home. If you're paying in rent more than $2,500 a month, you should try to find a way to purchase a home. Get your foot into real estate. I'm telling you, it's going to help you out. It's helped me out personally. And I've given that story many a times. If you go out to my podcast and check them out, you can see how I bought my first home. It really motivated me to get into real estate and help others. And so I'd love for you to check those podcasts out. But like I said, we're going to close up today's podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is Ricky Schoonover with 8Z Real Estate. And you have been listening to Denver's monthly real estate podcast, the Denver Homes Market Report. And please, if you're on my YouTube channel, go right there and hit subscribe, or go right there and hit subscribe. And you'll be able to catch up to all my other podcasts that are coming out. Anyway, I want to close it out. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next month.